What's up everyone, my name's Tyler, also known as Dally, and today I'm here showing you guys one of my favorite decks in the current Yu-Gi-Oh format, and that is Pure Anamana. So this deck is really fun to play. It turbos out Kali Yugioh. It's pretty good at making like 5 XYZs turn 1 or like 4 XYZs. I can do 5 XYZs plus on rank 2 usually, which ends up being Lambda most of the time. And it's actually just a really fun deck to play overall. I enjoy it a lot. I've been having decent success with it in the DB ranked meta. So let's take a look at how this goes and what we're playing. So today we're playing Anamana versus Salamangreat. We're both about 500 rating, so not too bad at players overall. And he's playing one of the newer Salamangreat builds that utilizes microcoder to search out the Signet counter trap that negates spell and traps, and you can't use any spell and traps with that name for the rest of the turn until the end of your next turn. Meaning, like, if it negates either a trap, you can't use another one, or if it negates a spell, you can't use any cards with that name for the rest of the turn. Meaning, like, if he hard negates like a hidden city, something like that, I can't activate another one, even though I believe it says you can only, So I can't activate another one or something along those lines, which doesn't really matter here because he does misplace slightly into it, but we see I do actually out it really well too, so that's part of it. So we can see he's going for the standard Salamangreat plays. Of course, he opened up Giselle plus a Salamangreat because they always open that. I don't think I've ever played against a Salamangreat player who hasn't immediately had access to Giselle, even though it's at 1. I feel like it was less likely, especially on DB, which has kind of a wonky draw system. Since they put it to 1, you literally see it more often, just like Driver. You always see Driver in your opening hand if you play it. So we see the Signet Conflict. This is the one that if he controls a Code Talker, you can negate a spell or trap or monster effect, and negate the activation if you do banish that card. So it's really nice because you can force out negations and stuff with it. He does make a misplay with it. It's basically another Judgment. It's another Judgment. You banish it and you can't use anything, so just super strong. He does go for this Code Talker play, which is met with a DD Crow, meaning he just kind of has to pass on the 1 negation most likely. So hopefully from there we can actually recover pretty well. We do know he's going to have at least 1 negation against us, and our hand is not looking the best currently. So we kind of need a top deck to put us into the game, unfortunately. So we see... I asked him to read the conflict because I just wanted to confirm what it did. So I've actually never seen this build of Salamangreat before, but I know people have been talking about this. With this build and also running 4 months Skipper inside of it, simply because you can end on some really crazy boards, as opposed to like standard Salamangreat, which is just a bunch of hand traps. You don't get as stronger boards, but it is a little bit more consistent. These builds are more aggressive just to kind of fight the meta, which with being as powerful as it is. So we see conflict, and he's going to end on the X-Code Talker, I believe, or Transcode Talker, set 3. Transcode Talker is already a staple in here, but by adding the microcoder, it allows him to use the Sunlight Wolf plus microcoder in hand to make this, and then bring the Sunlight Wolf back and then relink it, so he's able to get all of them. Had he done that, he would have had the Rage or the Roar against me, or no, the Rage. He would have had the Rage against me too, and there's no way you're playing through that board. You're sitting on 2 negations and a double pop, and he's just gonna reset it the following turn, and it would be incredibly difficult to play through that. So it is kind of a weird scenario here, because I activate the Automata Pickup, and he must not know what I'm playing, or he must think it's just standard like Adamanspators, and that's not what I'm playing at all. So we get to see kind of how this works in this matchup here, and so we activate the Pickup and we search. So Pickup search is any Automat card, any Automat card. So I add Onomatopoeia here because with Onomatopoeia, I have to discard, meaning my hand's gonna be weaker, but I mean I still have the Driver, but because I have the Pickup for next turn, I want to hold it and try to just make a play here and hope he doesn't stop me. So I'm able to use the Utopic Onomatopoeia's effect. He doesn't stop it, which I think is really weird. He might have thought I had another Ascender in hand, or he might have thought that locking me into XYZs would be enough, because if I was playing the Rock build, or if I had the Zubaba in hand, just negating this with like something wouldn't have been great. But he might have been worried about Analyzer or something coming down too. So there's a lot of factors in why he might not have negated it, but it was definitely incorrect here because, as you can see what we'll be going into, it's really strong. I go straight into Utopia double. I don't plan to kill him, by the way. I plan to go into Utopia Kaiser, clear the Transcode, and then activate Kaiser effect. Just to kind of put some bodies on board to kind of pressure him, because I know Salad does kind of struggle with a lot of big bodies. If you looked at their matchup versus Thunder last format, whenever Thunder kind of just put out monsters, they had a tough time. And Utopia Double under Kaiser spits out 2 big bodies, plus you get to protect yourself under the Kaiser can't be destroyed by card effects or by battle, and it's sitting at 5,000. So immediately threatening. I do effect a double here, trying to get to the Kaiser, and he ends up hitting me with an Imperm, as you'll see. So he does say he's thinking on the effect of double. So you see the Imperm come down, kind of annoying, but we do have a card that does fix that issue, which is really awesome. Really nice little tech choice here that I know a lot of people aren't like looking at, but we are playing a deck that's based on Utopics, and we do play the Utopic or XYZ change tactics, which every time you make Utopia XYZ, you draw a card. So we make the Utopia Lightning because we use this to draw 3 cards in part of one of our combos. We clear over his monster, and he can't respond to that with anything, so really strong here. And now we know the Signet optimization is down, and we know he has 2 back row. I was kind of worried. I didn't know what the other back row could be. Had it been like another Rage and he had a Silent hand, I was in a really bad position almost every time. However, he does not have anything in this situation, so we just have to swing over it for free and pass our turn. The Kaiser play would have been really nice, but it's not too bad just ending on a Lightning against this deck because if they don't have anything, they just don't have anything. So he does just set one. I wasn't sure what it was, but I was kind of like, And we do draw the Onomatopoeia here, and we have the driver in hand, so it's great to just discard the driver. It's one of the best discards in the deck outside of the actual Gagaga monsters, and we are able to get to pretty much everything we need from here. I'm going to kind of see how that works in a second. Not having the Lightning, though, does kind of mess up our play for the following turn because we can't extend it properly. Same with losing double. Not having Lightning or double does kind of mess up our standard extension, which is annoying. But it's not too bad. It's not too big of a deal here. So we see the Utopic Onomatopoeia come down, we see the Zubaba in hand, and we're going to activate our pickup now. I was kind of scared of what his sets could be. If it was another Impermanence, we would have been kind of in trouble. So I played around Impermanence specifically with this hand. Otherwise, you could definitely extend further had you opened the Dododo Giant. However, I did want to make sure I had some sort of extension to deal with him. And we see the Onomatopoeia come down here, which is really strong. This card's insane. So each time Utopia monster is special summoned to your side of the field, place 1 high 5 with the Sky counter on this card. All monsters you control gain 200 attack and defense for each high 5 the Sky counter on this card. Once printing, you remove 2 high 5 the Sky counter from this card, special summon 1 Zubaba, Gagaga, Dododo, or Dodo monster from your deck. So it allows you to basically just get out a free resource for doing like your double combo, which is really nice, and it's searchable off Onomatopoeia pickup, which is the only reason you really run it. If it wasn't searchable, I definitely wouldn't play it, but because it is, it's insane. It's insanely good in here. So you can see we'll use the glove effect in graveyard that we set up last turn with double, meaning he's going to be kind of confused. And we use Zubabancho's Gagaga Coats effect to special summon itself from the hand because I control the Utopic Onomatopoeia, which is considered a Gogogo, Zubaba, Dododo, and Gagaga monster all at once. Really strong. And then from there, he's kind of confused as to the whole situation. He doesn't realize that Onomatopoeia counts as all of them, and that's why it's the Onomatopoeia, because it's supposed to be all of them at once. It's kind of weird, and the whole names are all like weird onomatopoeias, which are like Gagaga, Gogogo, Dododo, and Zubaba. So we see that come down, Flub comes out, and we are just sitting in a really nice position now. We're able to make the Tornado Dragon, so we know we can safely XYZ into something. It'll force out any possible strikes or imperms or anything if we hit the right card, meaning we know we're going to be able to end on at least something with this hand. So we'll fast forward here quick, and we make the Tornado, as you can see, popping a back row. It turns out to be a Salamangreat Roar, which is whatever. I mean, his board would have been incredibly scary if not for that single DD Crow stopping everything. Had I not had the DD Crow for that, he would have ended on 2 negations, the Rage, and he would end up double negation, Rage, and Perm, plus the 2 bodies on board, which are sitting pretty strong because it boosts. So we have a 2300 Wolfen and a 2800 Transcode, which is a surprisingly really powerful board. And because he doesn't have anything, we're able to just go into Red and Tornado Dragon, and then we're able to we go into Utopia here, and then we go into Utopia Prime to get the 2 counters because we didn't have them to begin with because we had to go for an alternative route. Otherwise, this deck tries to go for like getting like I try to get at least 8 of these counters up usually, so my Appaloosa has an extra negate on it. So we have Utopia Prime here now, giving us the second counter. We sacrifice the tokens. This is debatable. However, it does guarantee a follow-up for next turn, helps us push out damage. And so we drop out. Had I used the Utopia Lightning originally, I would have been in a much better position overall. But this isn't too bad to be. So we drop out our Gagaga, and we swing in for damage. This won't kill him. I actually did not have a good way to kill him, but this applies a lot of pressure to the board. You don't have many interactions, but having all these big bodies is definitely difficult to deal with. If he didn't have a hard answer for the Utopia the Lightning, there's almost no way he was ever clearing this board, because all I have to do is, if he attacks into it, just detach, and he's at 5,000, and he can't activate the effects during the damage steps. So he had to make a way to remove this, and then also deal with the rest of the monsters on board with no spell and traps. So you see, just passes here. We'll fast forward through this, and he's going first again. However, this time I actually just don't open any hand traps, which is really weird because this deck plays 12 in the main, and I sided Nibiru's and also because Amber Salad. Sorry about it. I had to take a quick pause there. We had a plane flying by. Anyways, you see the Sonnet mining because, you know, they always open Giselle. And he's going for the Giselle here. We'll fast forward a little bit because we know what's going on. We're just going to see his end board. I actually don't have any interaction, so I just kind of let him play. And he doesn't stop for me. So we'll see his end board come down. Pretty much the same as before, except he actually gets to where he wants to, other than he's missing a card. So we ended up opening Twin Twister, forcing out at least one of his interactions, meaning that Sonnet Conflict is going to come down here. And that is really scary for him, because it means he only actually has one real interaction now, being that Infinite Impermanence. Knowing that Imperm is his only interaction, I do have Automata picked up, meaning I'm gonna pretty greedy here because I know I can go into double, and we do have the Ash deal. We do have a one-hand trap to deal with, which is the Ash, but we have the callback for it. So overall, we're sitting pretty good. So then we'll fast forward past this. And then we activate Automata Pickup, Searching Para. Normally, XYZ Chain Tactics is nuts in this deck. However, because I am contesting with possibly a hand trap, and I do want to have an extender here, I don't want to discard the Onomatopoeia, and I want to hold Called By, which we do end up, works out pretty well for us. We hold the Called By, we Called By him, because we don't play greedy, because you never play greedy when you're in a winning position. It just gets you punished. So we see the Called By come down on him, and Onomatopoeia is going to resolve, and this is basically game over. There's not really too much he can do in this situation, because we kind of just have everything. So a lot of times I'll go for a Giant, but because there's a set card and because he really doesn't have any resources, if I'm able to clear everything, we are actually in such a crazy strong position. So we see the call, so we're searching. I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit because this is almost the end of it. So we search, we get the Onomatopoeia down, and we get to play for free pretty much. We do use the Glove from hand to special summon the Onomatopoeia. We're able to go for a rank 4 here. Pretty standard stuff. Again, we have to just kind of explain to him how the deck works. Because no one actually wants to read any of your cards. Which is kind of surprising because people normally kind of know what this deck does. So we do have the Tornado come down, popping his set card really strong. He's going to end up imperming the Onomatopoeia, which doesn't matter because their coat can special summon itself if you control a Zubaba or Gagaga monster, except Zubaba, Gagaga, or coat, and the only way you actually play is Onomatopoeia. So Coat Effect special from Graveyard. We don't really have too much going on, but we have enough to where we are pretty threatening on this board right now. So I thought, for some reason, I was thinking I could kill him in this situation. However, my hand did not really accomplish that, unfortunately. We were able to put pressure on him. It would have been definitely better to go Kaiser here, as we're able to put a more threatening board on the board, or a more threatening board out. However, we were able to go for the Utopia double and kind of pressure him down to be at such low life points he ends up conceding. So we make the Utopia double. He has no interaction, so we're just going to Utopia. However, because he does have the balance in Graveyard, he is able to stop himself from dying, but it is pretty much irrelevant. So we'll fast forward again. We get the double or nothing to hand. We get the Utopia. We attack the Utopia, use effect, activate double or nothing. And this pretty much seals the deal for him for the most part. I am kind of surprised that he doesn't have the field spell, although I don't know if that actually mattered in the end. I'm not sure if it's necessary. So we hit him for 72. We're able to Tornado Dragon over for 300 on the Wolf. However, there isn't much he can top deck here because he does already have the Giselle in Graveyard, and he still loses to our Tornado regardless. Because if he can't protect his monster in hand, which really sucks for him. So he might have decided Sanctuary out. I doubt it though. They usually don't. So we swing over and he does protect. So we just trying to think about it, and we do we have to trash. So we don't have to deal with a Rage or a Roar next turn. And from there, he has one card left. It ends up being a Silent Mining, and we win the game. This deck is really powerful. I will show a deck profile at some point if I get at least 10 likes on this video. And we also can kind of go over some of the plays and maybe do a combo video on this deck because it's super fun to play. As you can see, like the extension is really nice with it. I wish we had one more monster that was okay. Preferably another Zubaba or Gagaga monster that was pretty strong, but overall this deck is really fun to play. It has some pretty okay matchups kind of across the board against everything because the engine itself isn't that big and it does a lot for how little it is. You can kind of get some wonky stuff, like you can Kali Yuga really easily in here, and I play Kali Yuga, and because you draw five cards minimum off your initial combo, it's not too hard to do just in general, but that needs a couple more cards just to be really consistent. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe and check out the channel for more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.